Connie, what's going on?
It's 4 a.m. in the morning. A word right around the corner.
Healing from what?
But not before, Lord, it's been another year. Here's a premiere.
Where you healing from?
Oh, Bobby had his fourth kid and Tony's daddy's gone. From here on out and now know that alone. Yeah. What
Why
about me?
why ain't you on TikTok? I'm on TikTok also right now.
Start off with something I can see.
Back surgery. Oof.
Showed me. Let's see if I can get it right before I tell Bobby and Tony. I read your word, I couldn't put it down. The more I read, jewels were added to my crown. Not jewels of this world, the kind that make you miss your mom and pop. The kind you miss when they don't answer their last call. The only jewels you take with you are the only jewels worthy to pursue. That's more of you. I just think it's amazing how eating means pleasant. So much so it had me thinking. It sure is mighty odd when Abraham was told Sarah would bear a child. She heard that conversation and said to herself, should I have this pleasure? That word for pleasure in Hebrew is basically eating. Now, I'm not trying to be funny, Lord, but that sure is a remarkable coincidence, isn't it? I'm just going over what I see, Lord. I read your word, I couldn't put it down. The more I read, jewels were added to my crown. Not jewels of this world, the kind that make you miss your mom and pop.
I'm grateful for the praise and worship. Oh yeah, man.
The only jewels you take with you
Yeah, I love it. Gotta have it.
to pursue. That's more of you. I'll just run a few more by you now. I'm Ruth. Naomi's name means pleasant as well. After a hard time fell on her, she said she didn't want to be called pleasant anymore and told people to call her bitterness. Now I'm just saying either there were only 50 words to the human vocabulary back then or I'm on to something. When the people came to the bitter water in the wilderness, it was a tree that made it sweet. The Bible also tells us without faith it's impossible to please you. Oh, I'm plowing with you heifer now. I read your word, I couldn't put it down. The more I read, jewels were added to my crown. Not jewels of this world, the kind that make you miss your mom. The kind you miss when they don't answer their last call.
Okay, I'm here. What? Christian, what are you talking about? Okay, you're here.
That's more of you. It's almost time to head to work, so I'll finish up.
Really, really,
Jesus is the only thing
really,
that
really good.
pleases you. These were all trying to
Am
show
I
us this
chopped
truth
liver?
of how
You might be, man.
to call Jesus Eden is a hard thing to hear. But there is only one good ground in the parable of the sower. These folks better start utilizing faith, the only thing that pleases you. Because without the servant you can't see, they might need to get a hold of this kale today and get this process started. Not kidding. I read your word, I couldn't put it down. The more I read, jewels were added to my crown. Not jewels of this world.
Can I come up to fight? Meow. You better let it go. Let it go. It's been like a month. I'm gonna hop over. Okay, Connie, whatever you want to do.
Well, all right.
But yeah, if you want to come up and get bulldog, you come on right on ahead and come up here.
But I'll be digging some more soon.
I'm gonna run you into the ground. I'm gonna make you leave crying. You can't. Why not? Ah, I didn't have my thing open.
Let it go, brother. I can't.
Hold on, hold on.
I can't.
Why not?
I have a lot to say, but like after this scale music, okay, I need to fight. Like I need to fight. I need to fight.
After D-scale music, you want to fight?
Yes, I need to fight.
Well, don't.
I need to
Why fight me?
because because there's some false things that is like, you know, Allah is not God, okay? Allah is not God.
Bro, you still on
Okay?
that? Oh my God. All right,
Yeah, I'm
get it
still
out.
on that.
Get okay,
Yeah.
get it out. You got 30 seconds. Ready, go.
Okay.
All right.
So first of all, you said it's because like, you know,
No,
they
no,
make
no,
a
no, no, no,
mockery
no, no.
of
Don't tell me what I said. Just tell me what you're saying.
hey. You said 30 seconds. That is less
30
than
seconds
1 second.
you talk about Allah. You talk about Allah. Don't talk about me.
Yeah, Allah is not ilah, okay?
Uh-huh.
And even in Arabic, the reason why it was forced to say that, like
Uh-huh.
in the Injil, it's the same thing. Why in some, like, you know, Bibles, they have Isa instead of Yeshua,
Uh-huh.
when in reality, it's the name Yeshua, okay?
Uh-huh.
So mixing these names is really wrong, okay?
Uh-huh.
And God is so intentional, okay? These names didn't come from anywhere, okay? And the origin of the name Allah is pagan,
Go,
okay?
go ahead.
The origin of the name Allah is pagan, okay? So we
Uh-huh.
cannot use, for example, like there's a name for Iblis, like for example, the name Iblis, it
Randy, what's
means
going on, Randy?
Shaitan.
Go ahead.
It means like, you know, evil person. So we use this name just because like some people use Iblis for God. Iblis means Satan.
Uh-huh.
Like all this, like it doesn't make sense saying Jesus is Allah. The reason, you know, the Arab Catholic, okay, the Arab Catholic use this name, okay. Allah
Uh-huh.
is not. So we agree with the Arab Catholic now? No.
Are you done? That was 30 seconds or longer. Are you done?
Yes,
Okay.
but
Okay. Meow.
just to let you know, like
Meow.
we need to fight.
Meow. 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 Listen. Everything that you just said, I agree. I've already studied it. I agree. Okay? Huh?
Okay,
So
okay.
if I agree with what you're saying, that means you're not understanding what I'm saying.
You said
No,
that
no,
name
no,
is
no, no,
not.
no, no. Hold on. Time out. Time out. Make sure
I
you.
still remember.
I know what I said because I say it all the time. But you need to understand what I'm saying, not just what I said, what I'm saying, right? So, like, if I told you that, let's say, what's a food that you think is nasty, Meow? A food that you don't like?
Like any animal brain.
Animal brain. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If uh if I'm eating something and it smells really good, let's say, and it's like beef steak, and you're right here next to me, and you say, "Wow, that smells good." Well, if I know that you don't like animal brain, I'm going to say, "This is cow brain. You should have a bite." So notice what I said. I said it was cow brain, but I'm the one eating it. Don't you think I know what it is?
Yeah.
So why would I tell you it's cow brain?
Because you're introducing this thing to me.
No, but it's not cow brain. It's steak. It's you. Have you ever eaten a beef steak?
Yeah.
Okay, so you said, "Wow, that smells good. What is that?" And I say, oh, what happened? TikTok is very quiet. Oh, hold on a second. Hey, Meow, say something.
Meow, meow,
Is that
meow.
all right? I said say something. You start meowing. That if cats don't say stuff. Okay, make noise. I didn't say make a noise. Hey, much better. Okay, I needed to raise this up. I needed to raise this up. All right, thank you for that. Okay, all right, Meow. So if I'm eating a steak and I know you don't like brains, and I said that's cow brain. Why am I telling you it's cow brain? Why?
Maybe you just don't want me to eat from it.
Okay. I maybe I'm saying that because I don't want you to have a bite, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like it's gonna gross you out.
Yeah.
Okay, but but I said it's cow brain, But I'm telling you now, you know that I'm not eating cow brain. It's a steak. It's a ribeye. So just because
Yeah.
when somebody says something, you need to make sure you understand what it is that they're saying, because I'm not telling the truth. That's not a cow brain. And you're like, yeah, but you said it was cow brain, right?
Yes.
But it's not cow brain. So,
Yeah.
okay, so when I'm talking about the word ilah and the word Allah, and you hear me saying stuff, and instead of trying to understand what I'm saying, you go, I heard you. I heard what you said. Yeah, you did hear what I said, but you're not understanding what I'm saying. So, the word that the Islamic believers used for Allah, it just means the word God, right?
No.
No, that's not all it means. What does it mean?
If it's only brother, we cannot just take what they say it is. Like we
I'm
cannot
not
just
talking
take their
about them.
meaning.
I'm not talking
If
about them. I'm talking about when I study it myself, it's just the word God, God.
no, it
Okay.
means it's a name for a pagan
All right,
god,
all right. Listen, let me show you.
brother.
Let me show you again.
Okay,
Hold on. No,
let me
no,
just
meow. You're
let me
doing it
just speak.
again. Meow, meow. You're doing it again. All right, watch this. I'm gonna say a word and you tell me what it means. Okay. Okay.
Yalla, yalla,
All right. Yalla,
yalla.
yalla, yalla. Okay, okay, okay. Uh, paper, paper. What does paper mean?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
In Arabic?
No, no. Explain to me in English. Paper.
Oh, paper means paper.
I know, but what is it? Like, tell me what it is. You don't
It's
gotta.
like a. It's like it comes from the tree.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just
It's
kidding.
a real thin piece of wood, and we use it to write on, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Next one. Cup. Tell me. Cup.
Cup, it's like something you drink,
Hold
like
on. Hold on. What are y'all talking
something to
about?
do. There's two separate ways of explaining it. Show him, pronounce. I told him the thing is, like he wants to go through all of this, like instead of actually taking that
All right. All
from
right. All
like
right.
an
All right.
Arab
Meow.
person. I
Meow.
already
Meow.
told him.
Meow. Meow. All right. All right. Cup. What's a cup? Tell me what a cup is.
Basically something you put some liquid in it and you drink from it.
All right. All right. So you have given me the definition for paper. You've given me the definition for cup, right? Now give me the definition for God.
God is the almighty, omnipresent creator of all. He's the most high. He controls everything. Yes, this is God.
This is God, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
I think he meant the Arabic.
no, I meant it in English. Okay, so let me look at how in English the word God, what it says, okay? It says creator, ruler of the universe, source of moral authority, supreme being. And then it says other religions look at it as superhuman, spirit worshipped as having power of nature or human fortunes, a deity. Okay. So what is a deity? What is that? Meow.
It's like a person. Yeah.
A deity is not a person.
A bit like I don't know how to.
It's
Can
like
you?
it's
Can
like
you?
a god, a deity,
Yeah.
a god.
It's like I don't know how to say it in English, but yeah.
All right. So you know the religion Buddhist, the Buddhist people, Buddhist, whatever that is.
Yeah, I know them.
All right. What's one of their gods? Do you know?
Um, I think like something with Krishna, or are they,
All
or
right.
are they the yin and yang people? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So one of them is Brahma, Lakshmi, Darshastra. I'm naming their deities, their gods. You understand?
Yeah.
Alex said that's Hindu. Whatever. Alex, whatever. Other religions, if you say, the point I'm making is if you tell them what is God, they're going to name these gods right here. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. How come you didn't name them?
I don't worship their
No, no,
gods.
no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. I know you don't. Listen, I'm asking how come you didn't name those gods? Why didn't you name them?
Um, like, do you want me to say like because I don't know them?
No, whatever you want to. I know you don't worship them, but if you want to say the answer is I don't know them, that's fine. I'm just asking why you didn't name them.
Oh, like
Because
the
I'm
reason.
trying to show you that when you gave me the definition of a cup, you gave me the definition of paper, and then you gave me a definition of God. When it came to God, you didn't give me a neutral, like how everybody sees like what God is. You gave me your God.
um. Yes,
Okay, hold on,
but
hold on, hold on. Listen, this is what I'm talking about. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen, okay?
okay.
All right. If you were to ask one of these Hindu people, what is God? And they go, oh, God is Brahma, Lashmi, Drashkrishra. Why are they naming these gods? When I ask, what does God mean? What is that?
Because it's their deity.
Right, right. So
Yeah.
if I ask you, what does the definition for God, and you say Jesus or Yahweh, Jesus and Yahweh is not the definition for God.
Okay.
You understand or no?
That's still like all
Nah,
everything
nah,
you
nah,
said.
nah, nah, nah. Listen. Do you understand what I'm saying or
Hold on,
not,
give me a
bro?
second.
Huh?
I understand,
Hold
yes,
on,
but
hold
everything you
on,
said.
hold on.
Okay.
All right. Again, paper. We can define what paper is. We can define, listen, if somebody says the word God, obviously I'm thinking of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's what I'm thinking automatically, right? You understand?
Yes, this is
Okay.
true.
But the word God, that word has a definition. You can define that word. Okay? Because our God's name is not God. You understand?
Okay.
Is God's name God? That's what his name is?
No.
Okay. There we go.
Okay.
Now you
But
get what I'm saying. All right, listen. So when they are saying God, all right, I don't care what religion they are. I don't care how they say, I don't care what language they say it in. They can say the word God all they want.
the thing is, it's
Hold on,
not
let me
very.
finish. Let me finish, bro. Let me finish. I do not care what language they use to say God. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. So that's why I was trying to tell you, you're not understanding what I'm saying. You're not understanding. So
Okay, I agree with you.
I think you
I
understand a
understand.
little bit what I'm saying
No, I
now.
understand. I
All right.
understand. I
So
understand. Yeah.
we know that the God of Islam is not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's not. Right?
Okay.
Right?
So my
Right?
question is,
Yes or no?
yes.
Right.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay. So if I know that, hold on a second. If I know that and I'm using the neutral, the generalized term God, and then you start barreling down on me, no, their God is Satan. I know their God is Satan, bruh. You're not understanding what I'm saying. But I think you understand a little bit. All right. Go
I
ahead.
understand, and I totally agree.
Right.
Okay.
That their God is the devil. And I agree.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes. It's
But the
not the same
reason
God.
they're using that,
Huh?
okay,
Huh?
the reason they're using the name Allah, okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's because it's not only referring to God, it's referring to the Muslim God. Even
Yes.
now, Okay, even now, like in the people who speak other languages and they're like Muslims or whatever, and they worship like they're Islamic believers. Okay, Islamic believers. Okay,
Islamic believers. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that.
That's what
Okay,
they are. They
they
believe in
still,
Islam.
yes, like yes. Okay, why they still say mashallah, alhamdulillah, stuff. Why do this name is not only referring to God, just God. It's because they are worshiping a demon and his
Yeah.
name is Allah. So
Hmm.
as Arab Christians, we don't we shouldn't say, yeah, we can just use this, bro. It was forced in the Arabic Bible, like my Arabic Bible have it. So why would we just accept that just because it's
Well,
referring to
again,
God?
that's what I'm saying. Like, you just gotta pay attention to what I'm saying. I already know what you're talking about, okay? But if I'm making a quick statement every time, I'm not going to give a 30-minute, you know, lecture on why I'm saying. You just got to pick up where I'm at. All right. So,
So, again, my question, why would we just accept that
well,
name when we have other
but when you say,
other
yeah, but when you say why would we accept it, I don't accept it. So I don't know who you're talking to when you say we. Why are we accepting
but
it?
you said Allah means just God or
No,
just we
I'm
can just
saying
use it.
no, no. See, there you go again. You said you understood what I was saying, and now you don't. Which one is it? You either understand or you don't understand. Which one
I
is it?
understand, but what you just explained
Uh
is just
huh.
saying that Allah just means God. That's it.
No, no, no. I'm saying that, uh, for the most part, as a quick conversation, all they're saying is God. They're not saying God, the father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They're just saying the word God. We got to go over this again. The word Allah doesn't mean Yahweh, right?
It doesn't mean Yahweh.
Right. So that's not, I'm not saying that. Again, I'm using the word
And
God.
it doesn't mean only God.
Oh
That's
my
it.
God. I know. How many times I got to tell you? How many times? How many more times I got to tell you? Tell me. Tell
Alas,
me.
we're good. We're good. We're good.
So
We're
if
good.
I already know that, what you're doing is you want me to explain that in full detail. And all I was doing was making a 15-second remark. I don't got to go explain all that, bro. What I need to
Okay,
explain?
we're good.
You act like I'm having a class over the word Allah. That's not what we were doing. I was making a quick statement. A quick statement.
Yeah.
AV, what's
Careful.
up? AV, what's on your mind?
I just came up to call Meow a heretic because I know her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Bruh.
like your panel, dude. You're cool.
You good.
Awesome. Awesome.
I'm not a pecan. Yeah.
Pecans? Like pecan pie?
Yeah, she calls me pecan all the time, and I don't know why.
Hey, one day you're eating pecans one day. And she was like,
Ew,
pecan,
I
man.
hate pecans, man. They're
Pecans are
I
nasty.
mean,
pecans are amazing.
it's the same like avocados.
Um, a note on what you said, Meow. The whole Allah versus Allah thing in the Arabic. Allah is the plural form of Allah, right? So the differences between Aramaic and Arabic there. But the personal name of Allah in Arabic is Allah, correct? Where God references himself as we,
It's ilah, not
Ilah.
Allah.
Yeah. So the Ilah, whenever, whenever quote unquote Allah references himself as Ilah, he's referencing all 99 gods, right?
So basically, the correct, okay, to say how to say God in Arabic, it's Rabb al-Ilah, okay? Even Muslims say Ya Rab when they want to say my God or God. But the name, okay, the original name for the Islamic God is Allah. Okay, it's not ilah, it's not a rab, it's not all of these things. So when I hear Christians saying it's the same and we can just use it, I don't want to hear this statement.
But
I'm just
nobody,
saying, I'm not saying God said that, I'm just saying in general. Okay?
you, bro. Come on, there's nobody running around saying Elah or Allah that are from America. Okay, like real Americans, they're not running around saying
I'm,
that.
I'm just saying in general. In general.
Well, Anyway, okay, I don't know how this even became a conversation. It was like a month ago. So are you done? Are you
It
good
was
now?
like
Meow, you good
two
now?
weeks.
You
Yes.
understand? 2 weeks? Okay, my bad.
I'm
2 weeks.
good. I'm good.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Hey, Tron, I got a question about Allah.
Oh no, we don't. I'm all out out. I'm all out of Allah right now. Yeah. Um. Let me see. Hold on. Let me bring this. Let me bring this over here. That's probably why. Maybe it's that. Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Just testing the spirit of long suffering, brother. You know that.
Well, that ain't how you do it. That's not how you test the spirit of long suffering. You don't test the spirit by how do you how do you do it by being like passive aggressive or like being like combative in a small way and you're like, oh, I was just testing. Like that ain't how you test the spirit. That's how you test the flesh. That ain't how you test the spirit.
You gotta test the spirit.
That ain't how you test the spirit. It's funny though, people actually believe that, right? They'll like give somebody a hard time on purpose, like I do Christian all the time, and then see if they're gonna show the fruits of the spirit. And they're like, brother, I was just testing your spirit. That's not how you test the spirit. You just test the spirit by letting the person just be themselves. That's it. You just let them be themselves, and you're seeing if they love and can forgive. See, a lot of people still think that. A lot of people still
Nobody
think
can love and forgive like me.
I don't know. You've only been doing it for a year, so I don't know.
More than a year.
Oh, I'm sorry. How long?
I mean, I haven't like counted the days, but 1 year, 7 months, and 22 days and 15 hours.
All right, so a year and a half. So you've only been doing it for a year and a half. I don't know. I don't feel like you've been tested enough.
See, my love and my peace is trot on the other side of a watermelon cannon. There's my fruit. Here, see the fruit's the watermelon. See?
Yeah. Well.
Oh, can.
Yeah. Well. Anyhow.
Hey, may I say something, please?
Kenny, what's up, man? How you doing?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing amazing.
Good. You know, you guys mentioned about loving and forgiving. You know, that was where my whole beginning started. You know, I was done wrong by a lot of people that were close to me, and I had to learn to love and forgive. You know, and you know what? It's so free. You know, when you can do that, you know, and be, you know, real about it.
Yeah, forgiveness,
Not having
which
Yeah.
was I was about to talk about, is it's you know, the law doesn't forgive. You know, you'll have a lot of people that will tell you once you're saved, now what? Their now what is followed up with the law. You got to do the law, the law, the law. And you can easily fall into that. Or you can be smart like me and don't pay attention to them. Okay? I don't pay attention to any of that because all it's going to do is start an argument when you understand that the law doesn't forgive. I need everybody to understand what I'm saying. The law doesn't know how to forgive. It doesn't bend. It doesn't forgive. It's either broken or it's not broken. You either broke the law or you didn't break the law. And if you break the law, you die. If you don't break the law, you live. Very simple concept. And I used to have all kinds of people who were all about this law until they finally realized, wait a minute, the law doesn't forgive. It doesn't, right? And you'll have people try to fight and go, what do you mean right here? If they broke it, there was ways that you could come back. And I'm like, really? What was that? Well, you know, you had burnt incense, sacrifice. And I'm like, brother, sister, listen to what you're saying. So someone broke the law, and in order for them to be okay, something had to happen. Some sort of offering had to happen. That means they weren't forgiven. That means the sin wasn't just like forgotten or forgiven. Y'all understand what I'm saying? If a crime happened, but it wasn't put on you, it was put on something. Something had to be offered. An animal had to be sacrificed. Something had to be burnt. Didn't something die? Isn't let me see, what's the best word I can use? Foliage. If I was to take something that was alive, I don't care if it's plants, and I burn it, didn't I take something that was green and I made it brown and black and unfruitful? I burnt it. I killed it. It's crazy to me how people don't understand that. If you take a scent and you burn the scent, tell me, if you have 1 ounce of oil that has a scent and you burn it, and let's say it takes 4 hours for that oil to burn off, can you smell it anymore after it's burnt away? Anybody? Can you still smell it?
Once it's gone, no.
No, you can't. So what happened to it? Where'd it go? Connie said, yeah. No, you can't smell it no more. The oil's gone. It's burnt. It's burnt. You can't smell it. So it was offered. You understand? It was offered. That smell was offered to please the person from the smell of sin. So when they try to even use that and say, oh yeah, but, yeah, Avi, you're good, man. But what I'm saying is, when someone broke the law, if it wasn't held on them, it was held on something, meaning that the sin wasn't just forgiven. It's a lie. Something was offered because of that sin. So when you have an Islamic believer say something like, oh, well, there's no sacrifice. Nothing was given, like nothing was. God can just forgive you. Why does he have to have a human sacrifice? And they'll bring up verses in the Old Testament that, no. God wants, he wants people to obedience over sacrifice. And again, this is talking about animals, but anything can be used to cloud your judgment on what's supposed to happen. Like, why does someone have to die? God's God. He can just forgive you. No, that was the whole point of everything in the Old Testament. Those things were shadow of something to come, meaning Christ was going to be the offering. All those offerings, the burnt offering, the food, all the offerings. It was something that was good. It was good, pleasant to eat or pleasant to smell, and it was offered up to God. Why am I bringing this up? Because you will have people trying to make you believe that you need to be either under the law or you need to obey one of the laws, some of the laws. They're always trying to bring you back to the law because they don't understand. They still don't get it. They're like, well, once you're saved, you got to do something. Look, that doesn't mean go act like a fool and then lie and say, well, I didn't sin. Sin doesn't exist. Now you're getting into something else. Okay. You're getting into something else. You're getting into something else. And I always meet, I don't know, every year I meet at least 1, 2, or 3 of these kind of people that think that it's okay to still sin, and they will. And again, I'm talking about premeditatively. You understand? Like they're gonna do it and they don't care. The good place to be is when anytime something is done wrong on your end is that you do care. And you're like, hey, you know what? This is not okay. When you can tell yourself, this is not okay. I still, first of all, you're going to be working on yourself to the day you die. I don't care who you are, but better off for you to be the kind of person that recognizes, something's wrong with that. Whatever that is right there, something's wrong with that. That's getting pulled out of me. That ain't staying in me. That is how you want to be. You understand? That's how you want to be. Understanding that you saw something in you and you're like, we're getting rid of that. Because anytime you notice that there is something imperfect in you, you have to attack it as soon as you can, right? You want to attack it because all it's going to do is still be there. You're just leaving it there. So, but the law, the point I'm really getting to is the law doesn't forgive. So when someone says, when the Bible is talking about that you need to be like Jesus is, right? There's verses that say that, right? Be holy as he's holy. And there's a bunch of verses like, how are you holy? And what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring you back to the law. See, only through the law are you holy. And I stump them every time I do. As I said, no, you're not holy because you just love people, right? That's what they want you to say, love. And you're like, okay, all right. Well, how do you love? Oh, well, you don't lie, you don't steal. Oh, so you do the 10 Commandments? You do the law? That's how you love? I don't know how people miss this. I really don't. You say, you love. Oh, how do you love? Oh, you know how you love? By forgiving people. That's how you love. Oh, yeah, the law don't say that. The law doesn't tell you to forgive, because if the law was able to tell you to forgive, the law would be able to forgive, and the law don't. So law cannot teach you to forgive. So why would I go to something that doesn't know how to teach me the one thing that I have to be, which is forgiving? It's not about just not mistreating people. It's about when someone mistreats you, that you know how to do the one thing that nobody else knows how to do. And what I mean by nobody else, I'm talking about you cannot receive this from any other person but the truth himself, Christ. The law was not the truth. I don't care what anybody says. The law is not the truth. Jesus is the truth, right? Moses gave the law, but grace and truth, these two things, grace, truth, came through Christ. So if grace and truth came through Christ, that means grace and truth didn't come through the law. Truth is on one side. It doesn't say Moses gave the law and truth. That's not what it says. It says Moses gave the law, but grace and truth came through Christ, which means Christ gave us grace and truth. He did. Not the law. Moses gave the law. It doesn't say Jesus gave the law. Moses gave the law. And he gave the law to the people, to the Hebrew people, which was not us. Okay? Now, there are some people that, believe that they are descendants of, of Jewish people. Who am I to say if they are or are not? Because that's irrelevant. It don't matter. There's no longer Jew or Gentile. Now we're just people here. And the truth has been given to the whole world. There is no physical separation like there used to be. There's only spiritual separation. You're either born again or you're not. That's simple. And so when people say, yeah, but what do you do? What do you do after you come? There's got to be something. Yeah, forgive. That's what you do now. You understand? It's not about what you do, like how good you are. It's not just about that. It's another side that's the real hard thing to do, because loving people is only love when someone doesn't deserve it. That's when it's love. Not when you're with your friends and family and you're like, oh, I love them. And they're like, oh, we love you so much too. Jesus made it real clear and said, unbelievers do that. So then what is love? If an unbeliever can go hang out with their unbeliever friends and say, oh, wow, what amazing life we have. Our friends, we're just loving one another. Yeah. Well, that's not love, because you're not put in a position to forgive. You're not put in a position to forgive. But when you're put in a position to forgive and the person does not deserve forgiveness, right? Which is all of us. None of us deserved forgiveness. Nobody did. Only that can come from God. The law does not teach you to forgive. So when next time someone is trying to be slick and try to get you to be swayed to the law, you just say the law doesn't forgive. And Jesus is the only being, only letter, only anything. He's the only way that shows how to forgive. So when someone's trying to take you backwards and they lie to you and tell you, oh, these are the baby steps. No, No, that's the law is not the foundation. Jesus is the foundation. He is. And because of him, the laws are written on our heart. And we have a heart of flesh, not a heart of stone. To not understand that these are completely different things, completely different. To not understand that is a huge fault in the person's way of viewing things, right? So, you know, if somebody was to ask you, well, is it good to steal? Is it good to kill? Like it's, again, no, it's not. But they think that this understanding was brought to us by Moses. This is crazy. So you're telling us that Jesus didn't bring what Moses gave in the flesh, though. It came in the flesh. And then it added something that the law couldn't do, which was forgive, which means Jesus fulfilled it. The law stone was lacking. It was in lack. But the law in flesh came. This is the actual thing. That thing that was written down was not the actual thing because it was pointing to Christ. So the law pointed to Christ. Christ don't point to the law. Not like that. Christ doesn't point to the law and say that is how you get to heaven. That's a lie. That's not what he says. He said, well, it says you got to do his commandments and you got to obey his this and you got to do these things and you got to, he said, no one goes to the Father except through him. He made it very clear that he's the answer, but him being the answer was not him pointing back to the law. Like if the law was the answer, that's such a lie. That's not even close to being true. So, but you got to be careful because this is what people think. People think he came to just point to the law again. Right. So, you know, be careful with that. And like, we have messianic friends. In a way, it seems like that's what they're doing sometimes. But that's really not what they're trying to do, but it could come off that way. And if you make the mistake and think that they're trying to put you under the law, then you can end up having some weird arguments with them, so like I always say, I'm talking about people who are really trying to put you under the law, hey, and there are some Jews that will. There are some Jews that will try to put you under the law, and do yourself a favor. Don't argue. I don't understand. I really don't. I don't get this whole arguing over. I'm just reminding you of things that you'll be able to stand on. Okay. When people are trying to make you feel like that somehow in some way, you need to be under the law. Maybe it's you that needs to remind them that, why would I be part of something that doesn't know how to teach me to forgive? Because Jesus forgave. So I want to be like him. So if he knows how to forgive and they go, well, Jesus was under the law. He was under the shadow of the law in that way, right? Because he did it to himself. But now we're going to say that the law taught Jesus how to forgive. That's what we're going to say now. So the law taught Jesus how to forgive. That's where he got the idea. No, absolutely not. That's why he said, that's why you hear him say he'll name people or he'll name a lot of things. And he said, so-and-so said, or this said, and then he says, but I say. He has the last word because he is the word, right? So, just remember that. And you're always going to have people try to be slick. Okay, I just saw this message. I don't know.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, hold on. Hold on.
See.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Kenny. My grandma, somebody just said their grandma passed away, kidney failure. Desiree, or I don't know, the name's way over there. Looks like it says Desiree. You still in here? Well, I mean, if you're telling the truth, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know if I'm sorry. I didn't see the message when it came in. I just seen it right now. So, Kenny, what were you saying?
That I couldn't see you, but you just fixed it, so now I can see it.
No, I didn't fix nothing.
Yeah, your screen was blank for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's my phone. I don't know.
Probably, unless somebody else has a complaint like that. Somebody else recognize that? Yeah, I don't know. See if I can get this going right here. Yeah, we were supposed to go over I don't see Faith in here. Yeah, she had brought pretty much like, I don't know. It was probably 3 or 4. Oh, yeah, it was 3. She brought up about 3 of them. But she's not here. Hebrews here. Hebrews, you still here?
Yes, sir.
I wrote down she-bears. You wanted to go over she-bears?
Yeah. There was one verse that I found that had it in it, and I've been looking for other quote unquote she bears, but the only other kind of places that I've seen it was where it referred to the bear and then it said her, like maybe after it or before it, like in context. But
yeah, what did you want to go over exactly? Do you know?
Well, like, you know how the female donkey represents like wisdom, and I was kind of curious more or less, like, is there a difference between a she bear and a he bear that's in scriptures?
Yeah. Oh, so you're trying to compare the he and the she?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, yeah. So I'm not really focused on the difference between the he and the she bears. What I am focused on is how, in context, not only is this a she bear, okay, that's one, but 2, it was 2 young men that were mocking Elisha, right? And so we know Elisha was a prophet of God, right? So throughout the entire Bible, you always see the flesh mocking the spirit. You always see this.
Right.
And what the Bible shows us time and time again, we see that where the Bible says vengeance is mine, right? And we happen to see, I
felt like the female bear was like, sorry, we might be lagging, I think. It almost looked like the female bear throughout the scripture was like God's wrath being dished out.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's the female bear is not representing God's wrath. It's representing wisdom.
Okay, I might have just been confused on that because of the Second Kings, where the she bear went out and got the kids or whatever.
Ain't that's what we're talking about, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's similar, but I think it got rid of the kids. So would the kids then be symbolically representing like the flesh?
Yeah. So
like that.
Yeah. Did you not hear everything I just said?
No, I did, but I just wanted to make sure that I'm following you properly.
Yeah. So we're talking about Elisha, right? They were saying, "Go up, bald head," right?
Yeah, but exactly. Yeah, go up, bald head.
Yeah. So I literally just went over all that. Maybe you're.
No, I was just kind of confirming it. That's all.
Yeah. So again, the context is you see the flesh mocking the spirit.
Right.
Throughout the entire Bible, it's always flesh mocking the spirit. Joseph, shadow of Christ. Joseph tells his dad, "Hey, I had a dream all y'all are going to worship me." Now, again, That's what he's telling them, right? That's not really what's happening, but that's what he's telling them because that's what happened in a dream. So the brothers get mad at him and they want to kill him.
Right.
So again, flesh mocking the spirit. On and on throughout the entire Bible, you see this happening. Abraham had 2 sons, Isaac and Ishmael. Ishmael was born first through Hagar, but Isaac, being the second born, right, becomes the firstborn.
Right.
And Ishmael mocked Isaac. When Sarah heard that she was going to have a baby at age 90, she laughed at what was said to her. Again, flesh mocking the spirit. When Jesus was here, or when Samson was taken, and they said, bring him out. They already captured him. They said, bring him out so we may make sport of him. That word sport in Hebrew literally means mock.
Fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when Christ was here and they said, are you a king? And he said, my kingdom is not of this world. They spit and mocked him. So throughout the entire Bible, if you understand that the flesh mocks the spirit, and you understand that animals, when the gender is being told to us, is not just because whoever was writing the Bible was just trying to fill in words so the Bible can be thick, but actually what was happening is everything had a meaning. Then you'll understand why gender is given to us, especially when it comes to the female gender, which is pointing to wisdom. Now, there's other things that are pointing to all the attributes of the spirit being feminine, okay? But the way it shows it with wisdom is just more bold in the Bible. Right? It says, seek her like you seek silver, and it's referring to wisdom, but it calls wisdom a her, right? So the dove that Noah sent out of the ark, it was a her, right?
Yep.
On and on we can do this. So the wisdom is an attribute of the spirit, but it's still the spirit, and God is spirit. So this is still God, no matter how you want to flip it, but it's given to us this way so we can see something that's there. God put it there, but that's why it's given to us this way, very specifically. So it's no difference what's happening here. Again, it's a different story, but it's the same thing. You have a man of God. You have these young men that are mocking him, saying, go up, bald head. And it's funny, the one thing that they mock, go up, right? And they call him bald headed. When in the Bible, hair represents faith in the Bible, but they're calling him bald headed. So it's a type of mockery that if you understand the Bible, the type of mockery that they're doing is a lot. Now, to a regular person, it just looks like kids are throwing pebbles at a man and a bear came out. No, that's why people don't understand when I talk about well, everything I just went over. They don't understand because all they see is, what's the big deal? You know, they look at, it's like if Mr. Wilson would have unalived Dennis the Menace, there'd be no reason that any of us would feel good about it, because we know that the worst thing Dennis did is probably, you know, put chiclet gum in the place of his dentures, you know, or get a slingshot and hit Mr. Wilson in the butt with it, with the rock. But if we were to see dogs and bears or whatever, lions, come out of the freaking woods and tear up Dennis the Menace, we would be like, whoa, what the heck? It would freak us out because we understand that Dennis the Menace is an immature kid. But that's not what's happening here. So for anyone to think that the only things happening here is that these kids were throwing pebbles at Mr. Wilson and God sent the wrath, no. This whole thing is pointing to a truth that is true through the entire Bible, all the way to, hey, Hebrews, mute up. You got a bad echo. I don't know what that's about. But the bear, it's a she-bear. These boys are representing the flesh, mocking the spirit, and time again, we can go through the entire Bible and see what happened whenever the flesh is mocking the spirit. We can see it. We can see it play out. But one of the different things here is this is not just referring to, God just tearing up some boys. No, it's the Bible makes it clear that vengeance will be mine, saith the Lord. Vengeance is his, not ours. So Elisha could have turned around with his staff and went over there and just started beating all the kids up, but it was God that handled the issue. God did. But again, it was the wisdom of God, because it's
Right.
it's the
And
wisdom
the
of
fact
God.
that he's bald is huge, because when you brought up faith, it made me realize they weren't just mocking Ishmael; they were mocking Jesus at that point. Being that he's faith, because our strength is in Christ. We can do all things in Christ
Well, it's
who strengthens us.
it's mocking the spirit is what it's mocking. That's what
Yeah.
it's mocking, right? So like, because in the Bible, hair represents faith, and faith is a spiritual thing. It's not a physical thing. So for them to say, go up, bald head, and they're like, oh, he's just a bald headed man. Again, here we are again. People just picturing Dennis the Menace calling Mr. Wilson bald headed. That's all. That's all the Bible is to them. Very superficial. There's no other meaning, and Islamic believers and atheists, they look at this and they go, well, so God sent a bear. And of course they say, to unalive a bunch of kids. Well, in Hebrew, they're young men. They're not kids, to be clear. Okay. And they're like, oh, what does that matter? Oh, you're trying to justify. I'm like, I'm just trying to clear up something that you are lying about. These are not 8-year-old boys. The word that's being used there in Hebrew is referring to young men. Okay. So if we're going to be honest, let's just start off by being honest. So now let's get to the problem that they have is, again, this is Dennis the Menace with the slingshot shooting pebbles. And they're like, he probably can't pull that hard enough to make a bruise on you. And God sent. That's not what's happening here. This story is not just to show that some young Dennis the Menace are shooting marbles at Mr. Wilson. No, bro. No, this is a spiritual mockage that comes from the flesh. And it's God that's going to handle that at the end, because at the end, those who don't have the mark of Christ are going to become unalived. That's what this is telling us. This is not just trying to point out that God got mad at some young man and just unalived him, even though that is what happened. That is what happened. But that wasn't the whole point of it. The point was that these were not believers. That's the point. These young men were not believers in God. That's why it was a she-bear that came out of the woods, just like Balaam's donkey was a she. Right?
No, it makes total sense, man. Thanks again for going through that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Move that out of there. Oh. Let's see.
And if you need to make room, you can always drop me.
Yeah, I mean, we got a spot. We got a spot open under you. It's all good, man. Let's see. Enrique. Yeah, 2 female bears. Yeah, she bears. Yeah. Are you a Christian or a Muslim? I'm a Christian. Guys, hey, all you guys, I keep forgetting to tell y'all to do this. But I need everybody in here, and I'm being dead serious, to go to Descaled YouTube and like go stay there for 5 or 10 minutes. And while you're there, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Okay. I keep forgetting to tell y'all to do that, but I need some people to do that, man. If you're on TikTok. Okay. Are you a Christian or Muslim? I'm a Christian. And if you're not, I hope you find Jesus. Yeah, I'm a Christian, Enrique. Let's see. I don't even know what that means. Oh. Let me move. Let me move this over here. Man, that hurt. Yeah, guys. Oh, about the next Descaled event, guys, it's probably going to be in May. Okay? It's probably going to be in May. So I'm not saying that that's concrete, but that's what it's looking like. So there's been a few people that's been asking like, hey, when is it? I wasn't for sure when it was going to be, so I didn't want to say anything. But it's May is probably going to be the month. And just so you know, March, April, May, it's not even really hot here. I mean, it could be 90 degrees in May, but don't worry, I got an air conditioning unit in the house. Okay, it's okay. So if you're planning on coming, and tomorrow, and more than likely it's going to be in the morning, guys. So around 8:30, 9:30 in the morning tomorrow, regular descaled. Eric Montoya sent me a message. How do you hit like? It's the thumbs up. And click it one time, guys. Listen, if you go to YouTube, I've never seen a thing where you can just tap. Okay. Yeah, we've already gotten to 90 degrees too, but I'm saying it's going to be in the 90s because we don't get to about 95, 98 to about June. So, because June it'll already be 100 degrees in June, but I'm just saying it'll be in the 90s. Yeah, guys, after you hit the thumbs up on YouTube, I don't have a thumbs up. Are you watching? Yeah, Tammy's asking you a question. You can only tap in the chat. Yeah. Double tap the screen. I don't know what Danielle's talking about over there. Anyhow, it's probably going to be in May. So if you're wanting to come, make sure y'all get with Dre. And Dre more than likely is not going to be able to make it.
Unknown call.
Dre more than likely is not going to be able to make the event. He's got a lot going on. Nothing bad, but he's got a lot going on. So, but if you're gonna come, I know Mick, Eric Montoya, those two people that haven't been, I know they're coming or wanting to come. Is Mick here? I don't know if he's here. Looks like he might be. Mick May work for, again, it's not concrete, but it's looking like May. And I do want to give you at least, I'll be there. Okay, yeah. I want to give y'all at least 6 weeks to 2 months. Plenty of time to get what you need to get. And honestly, it's usually not very expensive to fly into Dallas. I'll be honest with you, man. It's usually not. Habibi, what's up? What are you going on about? Well, just listen. Just listen. You'll hear me. You'll hear me go on about it longer. All right. We do have 2 other things to go over for Faith, but she ain't here. Let me move those out of there. And Christian wanted to go. Christian, you still here?
Mm-hmm.
Christian wanted to go over Exodus 4. Hey, Christian, just so you know, I cheated. Yeah, Breezy, you definitely need to come, man. But I understand if y'all can't, but it's always a blast. Guys, and
What's new, man?
Do what?
I said, what's new? Just like that fish.
Bro, when are you not eating, bro?
What do you mean?
No, answer my question. When are you not eating?
98% of the time.
No, bull crap. Bull crap. What are you talking about? Jeez. It's like you wait for the live to start, and then now it's chow time all of a sudden. Now it's time to eat. I didn't start this thing to like freaking 3:30. You had all day to eat. You want to eat when you come up here.
Yes, I specifically did not eat for the day. For
Yeah,
the most part, yes.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the point. That's what I just said. Try hard to make it out there. Yeah, Mike, we done gave up on you, bro. You ain't never coming, bro. We done gave up on Mike, man. We told Mike come day one. He's like, yeah, man, one day I'm going to drive my 9955687 Caterpillar up there. He's like, I'm going to drive my 66 4900 RGF2 Caterpillar. Let's see. All right, what is it? Exodus 4 what?
Hold on, I'm grabbing my Biblia.
Yeah, and hurry up and swallow your freaking quesadilla or your freaking chimichanga or whatever the heck you got over there.
Pumpkin empanada?
Whatever it is. I don't care. I don't care if it's rocks. Swallow it for God's sake. Finish it.
Better get pumpkin empanadas in May.
Finish it already, man. I don't need an hour. This ain't no savor the flavor moment right now. When are the women gonna have one? Oh yeah, that's in the talks too. That's in the talks too. But there's gonna have to be at least three. At least three though that have to come for sure. At least. Like it can't. One ain't gonna happen. Two, not a good idea. Three, getting better. If we can for sure get 4 or 5 at least, I mean that'd be great. But 3 or 4, it has to be. It has to be at least 3 or 4. And I mean, just you don't want to make somebody come, but you still ain't found it. Where are we at, bro? Exodus 4. I don't know why I didn't.
Exodus 4, 21 through 26.
All right, we'll read it.
And the Lord said unto Moses, when thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand, but I will harden his heart, and he shall not let the people go. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. And I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refusest to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn. And it came to pass by the way in the inn that the Lord met him and sought to unalive him. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet and said, surely a bloody husband art thou to me. So he let him go. Then she said, a bloody husband thou art because of the circumcision. And that's it.
Well, that's not it, but what's your question?
What's all going on here?
Where? Like there's 1,000 things going on there. I need you to be specific.
Why is it that the Lord is just told Moses to go to Egypt and he's going to unalive him now? And then the way to stop that.
All right. So why is he? All right. So why? All right. So why is Moses going to Egypt?
To free the people.
Okay. So you already know why he's going to Egypt.
Yes, I know that.
Okay. So I want to know the question you don't know.
The question is, why does the Lord purpose to unalive him immediately?
All right. Let's go to the verse where he's going to unalive him. Read it.
The verse says.
No. What's the verse? Everybody wants to know the verse.
20.
Bro, just read the verse. Read it.
And it came to pass, by the way, in the inn that the Lord met him and sought to unalive him.
All right. So 23 says, and I say unto thee, okay, well, 22 and 23 go together. So he says, say to Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son. Israel is my son. Now watch this. Who is Israel?
Jacob.
Jacob was named Israel. But why?
Everyone out of Jacob's loins is Israel, technically.
Okay, but listen. There's a lot of people who don't like it when I talk about this. They don't. A lot. Bait, what's up, Bait? Bait, you better go. You ain't gonna like what you're about to hear.
Bait's gonna hate it 10 times over.
Yeah, you ain't gonna like this. But we know that Jacob's name was changed to Israel, right? But here's the but okay, so it says, let my son go. Like I ain't heard you before. That's true, bro. I'm just messing with you. But he says, let my son go. So is Israel there? Is Jacob there?
No, Jacob has long since passed.
But Jacob's not there. So he comes from Connie, dude, you okay? Connie, who are you talking to? Oh, man, what did I do? Get out of there. Okay. Oh, man, hold on. What is this dude talking about? Sugar? Okay, I don't know what y'all talking about in there. All right, so he says, say to Pharaoh, 22, and thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son. So this is what he said, right? He said, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. Even my firstborn. And I say unto thee, let my son go. So, like in the movies and everywhere, it's like, let my people go, right? That's what you hear. But when God's telling Moses this, he says to tell him, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. And he says, and I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn. So the question is, if Jacob is not there, right? Because remember, he tells Moses that he was God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So why is he saying, let my son go? Anybody? Why is he saying, let my son go when there's 2 million people there? Nobody?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Does anybody have an idea? Jennifer, you got an idea?
No, I don't.
Anybody?
Is it because Israel represents the church?
We can say it's the body. We can. Bait. Listen, you literally just said, I'm going to read what you just said, bro. You said, like I ain't heard you before. So you've heard me before, and you know that I'm not going to just say it because it matters. It does. 100% matters what I'm asking about when he told Moses, you go tell him to let my son go. It matters, bro. It matters big time, okay? And this is one of the things that help show that Jesus is Israel. Him. He's Israel, bro. He is. He's the Jew, right? Judah, King of Judah, Yahudah, the Yah, the open hand. All this points to the word praise. Without Jesus, you can't praise him. There's no way. There is nothing that anything about you before a person receives Christ, there is nothing about you that is praising God, except when your soul calls out to God, but it still ain't praising him, but it's calling out to him. So without being born again and receiving Christ in you, there is no praise in you. You don't have it. You're dead, period. But whenever you receive Christ, who is the Jew, which is praise, where do you think all this stuff that you see the rabbinical Jews doing, all the stuff they did, where'd they get all that from? Hey, I want you to do this. I want you to name this. I want you to go over here. I want you to do this. All these people were naming their kids everything that it was all pointing to God, all their kids, everything, because it was God that was showing them what is happening in the quote unquote spiritual realm. You understand that there is only one. It's always been this way. There has always only been one praise or one gift or one like emitting. You understand that word? There's only been one thing that, like, I don't want to say pleases God because we all know that. I'm trying to use a different word. But the emitting of an aroma, you understand? There's only one. And so everything that these people were doing physically was pointing to what's already in God's heart, which is praise. So it's not a coincidence, not even a little bit, that the Messiah just happened to be the king of Judah. He's not the king of Dan. He wasn't the king of Ephraim, the king of Benjamin. You understand? He wasn't the king of any other tribe, any name of the tribe. He wasn't king of, but he was king of Judah. And this is where Jews get the name Jew from. They get it from there. And it's because they understood, okay, well, and all these things lined up and they go, okay, we're Jews. But this name is pointing to praise, which is the yad, the open hand, right? When they praise God, it's the open hand. And that open hand, the whole purpose of this is to receive the Spirit. That's the whole purpose. That's what this is. And to this day, people still think it's something that you're doing or something. No, that's not what it is. It's to put out the hand to take the Spirit. That's what all this is pointing to. And Jesus is the only one that knows how to do it. He's the only one. And without him, you can't receive the Spirit. It'll never happen. It has to be because of him. Because he's the only one that he literally owns the name peace. He owns the name praise. He owns it. He's it. His aroma, right? He's hairy, ruddy. He has a smell of the field. All these things about him. What he is, he represents the praise of God, him. So when we read in the Bible, like worship and praise, your flesh couldn't worship and praise him if it tried. It couldn't do it. It doesn't know how. It doesn't even know where to start. It doesn't smell right. It's dead. It's dumb. You understand? It has eyes, but it sees nothing. It has ears, hears nothing. Has a tongue, can't speak. Has feet and goes nowhere. You understand? So praise had to come to open the blind eyes, open the deaf ears. Why? So you can know how to praise God. So let my son go. Let who go? Even my firstborn. Tell him to let my son go, I'm gonna, how does he word it right here? if you refuse to let him go, this is verse 23. Behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn. And it's true. Slay and eat. It's true. Throughout the whole Bible, it's slay and eating through the whole thing.
Bro, there ain't no shot you led this back to slay and eat, bro.
Bro, I'm not leading it back to that. The whole Bible does this. It's not leading back to one thing. It's woven in. All these truths are woven in all the stories, every one of them.
I know, I'm just messing.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, it's woven throughout the entire Bible. The same truth. It's the same story over and over, being told again and again. Even though these were many people that were alive and real, these are real people. But it's so weird that in their life story, the glorification of the Father is the only thing that's being spoken of, is how he's glorified, which is by us being fruitful.
Wait a minute. What did you say? Did you say slay and eat?
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Play that bad boy. Don't make me play it. I'll play it. Don't make me do
play it. It's not released yet.
No, I can play it. I'm gonna play it. Put a one in the chat if you want me to play it. There's probably about 20 people. No, continue. I'm gonna continue. But if you want me to play Slay and Eat, put a one in the chat. I'll play that bad boy right now. Y'all can just blame Christian. All right, we're gonna do it. We're going through there. We're gonna do that. Oh man. Oh, here it is. Literally, it like disappeared for a second.
Slay and eat. Peter's response to Jesus was no. Now. Looks like we're gonna have to talk about this. You don't understand it, man. When you said that you kind of had a hiss. Well, it's important. Take a seat. Let's get closer to the beginning. From there, we will discuss killing and eating. Slay and eat. Was the message Moses took to Pharaoh. His rod turned into snake slaying and eating. The other two as a demo for us today. They are shadows of a show. A theatrical event, problematical to Satan, that tyrannical. Who thinks he's tactical? He's slew and Nate and sealed his fate with his hate. A place of darkness and hardness. A place of darkness and hardness because his emotions he couldn't harness. Like Moses' message. Slay and eat. Will echo through eternity. And that's not a hyperbole. To see this, you have to investigate the Bible like conducting surgery. As a disciple, you bring a message in the form of a weapon to kill the 6 and to revive the 7. Just like Satan, we come with violence and aggression to kill the flesh so the soul can go to heaven. This is a disciple's possession. After we slay, we plant seed that grow. Then we reap what we sow. Ahud was a left-handed man from the tribe of Benjamin. He made himself a double-edged sword, which he girded on his right thigh. That can't be ignored. He brought the disciples long. Without any detection, that sword went into his fat belly. Dirt came out like confetti. Boy, was it smelly. While Samson went to visit the Timnath women, the lion roared against him before his eyes became dim. He slayed that cat and wasn't bitten. The knowledge of his strength still hidden. Shortly, he turned aside to see the carcass. There was so much honey, he could have sold it in a market, but he remained humble, took a bite, even gave some to his parents, but didn't tell him about the fight. He just slew and then eat. Will echo through eternity. And that's not a hyperbole. To see this, you have to investigate the Bible like conducting surgery. As a disciple, you bring a message in the form of a weapon to kill the 6 and to revive the 7. Just like Satan, we come with violence and aggression to kill the flesh so the soul can go to heaven. This is a disciple's possession. After we slay, we plant seed that grow. Then we reap what we sow. Jesus is God. Therefore, the author of the Bible and the reader, he doesn't ask us to do something he couldn't do because he's a good leader. He too slew and Nate. Remember the lady at the well? Yeah, the women who had 4 husbands. Men 5, no 6, I cannot tell. The disciples went to get food and left him alone. They should have stuck around and see what was sown. Jesus too brought a message in the form of a sword. Only it can bear record. Only it can cause 2 to 3 to be in one accord. Before our eyes, a conversation seemed normal, but spiritual battles are kept thorough. Jesus spoke his truth that the scale those eyes. She saw the tree was good for food and pleasant to the sight, a tree to make one wise. She stopped hearing the flesh, stopped hearing the lies. She took a leap of faith and went for the prize. The message was received, she she believed. She took Jesus to her town, people in need, so he could feed and plant the seed. He agreed. The disciples returned with food. Jesus said he wasn't in the mood. He told them he had meat that they knew not of. He spoke of food of the dove, the food from above, the food of love. Will echo through eternity, and that's not a hyperbole. To see this, you have to investigate the Bible like conducting surgery. As a disciple, you bring a message in the form of a weapon to kill the 6 and to revive the 7. Just like Satan, we come with violence and aggression to kill the flesh so the soul can go to heaven. This is a disciple's profession. After we slay, we plant seed that grow. Then we reap what we sow. Yeah, you have been sent with a message. Go. Slaying Nate. Yeah. Slaying Nate. Yeah.
What? Don't say slay and eat. You're going to make me play it. All right, so he said, let my son go that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn. And it came to pass by the way in the end that the Lord met him and sought to kill him. Then Zipporah, which is the wife of Moses. Somebody look up Zipporah. I don't remember what it means. Took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son. And, Moses better be lucky that he had a wise wife. Because sometimes the guys hearken into the wrong wife. Who looked up Zipporah? Who's got it?
I mean, I've looked it up before.
Well, we all have.
Right,
we all have. Look it up again.
Zipporah means bird.
Bird. Fowl of the air. Right. So your question was, why did God want to unalive Moses? So what's the answer?
Because he was going to keep him in bondage with the law. No, I'm kidding.
What's the answer? What's the answer? It gives us the answer. What's the answer? It tells us right there. It tells us. It tells us. All right. So,
woman who is representing wisdom of God.
No, my question is, why was he going to kill Moses? Why? Anybody?
Because he wasn't understanding. He was carnal.
No, it tells us. It gives us the reason. It tells us why. It tells us. The answer is in Exodus 4:21 to 27. It's in there. The answer is in there. Why was God going to kill him? It says it. Black letters on a white page. Nobody? Man. Yes, Faith, that's why. Because he had not circumcised his son. All right. So, but why was God going to kill him? Right? First of all, let me make it real clear. That's the answer. The reason that God was going to kill him, because he didn't circumcise his son. So now let's look at why would that cause God to kill him? Some people say, well, because it's part of the law. No, they haven't went to Mount Sinai yet. Even though we know that this is something that God takes serious under Abraham, I get it. But why was God gonna kill him? What's the reason? What's the reason? Something about circumcision. Yeah, no, the answer, Faith got it right. The most correct answer is because he did not circumcise his son. That 100%. Disobedience, no, that's the same thing. That's the same thing. He did not circumcise his son because of the shadow. It's not really because of the shadow, but there's a reason. There's a reason. Anybody
Well,
want to?
circumcision was for the covenant, right? If he wasn't circumcised, he would not be in covenant with
All right,
God.
now it's his son though, right?
Exactly.
All
Yeah.
right, so somebody find this out. Was this Moses' first, second, third, fourth kid? What number kid was this? And if you have an answer, show me proof. I want proof. I want proof. Don't just yell. If you give me an answer, I don't care if it's right or not. I'm not gonna accept it because I want proof on what you're saying. Random, this is 420 kid. That's a lot of kids. Nobody?
The same man's got to be something, bro. Because the Amplified tells us because the son wasn't circumcised.
That's what we're talking about, Christian.
No, the deeper meaning, bro.
Do what now?
The deeper meaning of that circumcision.
Okay. My question is, are you not hearing my question or what? Christian, how many kids did Moses have with Zipporah? That's my question.
2, Manasseh and Ephraim.
Moses, Manasseh, and Ephraim? Moses?
Oh, no, dang it. Sorry. I'm sorry. No, I'm thinking Joseph. That's my bad.
All right. We're talking about Moses. Moses. So what number kid was this? Was this Moses' first kid, second kid? What kid? Man, y'all must have been on lives all day. Y'all are tired as heck.
Okay, I found it. Exodus 2:22. And she bare him a son, and he called his name Gershom, for he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. And, well, I thought I did. I thought it said it was his first son. My bad. But yeah, it's his first son.
Yeah, Gershom is the first one, and the one that's like Eleazar. I can't remember how to pronounce it, but the Eleazar one is the second born. So Gershom is the firstborn. Okay, so the firstborn, Moses' firstborn, this is the fight. So it's not the second, third, fourth, whatever. Hold on a second, guys. Okay. All right. So we know there's a lot of reasons. Okay. There's a lot. Or there's a lot of stuff going on. Okay. Number one is under Abraham, okay, under Abraham, there was supposed to be a circumcision under Abraham. So he's telling Moses, hey, look, I need you to go over there and tell Pharaoh, let Israel, my son, go. So I'll start off slow and say this. Legally, would Moses be able to go tell Pharaoh, let my son go, and Moses' firstborn is not circumcised? Would he be able to?
Because no.
Why not? Why not? And it's not because, well, he can't be giving orders if he don't know how to take orders himself. No.
Well, because of the covenant.
No. Look, if the answer is, oh, well, it's because of the covenant. Well, then that's the answer for everything. Oh, well, the covenant. That answer is for everything. But be more specific. Like, why couldn't Moses go over there and say, let Israel go if he has a firstborn who's not circumcised? Yeah, Kenny, that's it right there. Because he wouldn't be part of the body. Right. That means that he would have, quote unquote, sin in the camp. His son not being circumcised would be representing sin in the camp.
Sin in the camp?
Yep. Which means that this is not happening by faith. It has to happen by faith. So the firstborn of Moses had to be circumcised. Had to be. So we can make it real simple and say, well, because of Abraham. Well, yeah, but there's a reason. You understand? There's a reason. What's the whole point of circumcision, guys? What's the whole point of it? It's not because God is just saying it, right? Let's say that the circumcision was every male had to have their right thumbnail removed. Okay. You think God just thought of something and said, all right, if you're going to be throwing signs in my set, I need to see that thumbnail missing from your thumb, from your right hand.
No.
There's a reason though. There's a reason. It's just not a color in a game. Right. Oh no, but our colors have meanings. Yeah, but somebody put to be set apart, obviously, yes, to be set apart, but to be set apart for what? There you go, Jay Spazin, mark, yeah, that's it, that's the mark, right? The mark of what? The mark of Christ. There's a mark of the beast, and there's a mark of Christ. There's two marks, two of everything. And the mark had to be there for the reason that Kenny said. They're all one body. So Moses' son had to be part of the body. Moses' son had to be part of the body. Because remember, one body, one spirit, one mind. Israel, the son. So all these people, even though they're Moses' body, but they had to have the Abraham's mark, because that was the promise, right, that God made. But all of this is because it all has to be by faith. If it's not by faith, it ain't going to work, right? You got to understand, this physical mark, that's not the mark of God. When you can come to terms with that's not the mark of God, this was a mark of faith, do you understand? Which is a shadow representing Israel, who is Jesus. If you still ain't put that together yet, Jesus is the firstborn. Israel, it's him. He's Israel. He is. Because he's the promised land. So, let my land go. My son Israel, let my land go. What land did Satan have a hold of?
Canaan. The heart.
The heart. Yeah. The heart.
Let me finish.
After you give 10 answers, yeah, the garden, which is the heart of man. That's the land that he had hold of. The heart of man was in bondage. Let my son go. My son, let my son go. It's not an easy thing to talk about because all of this is representing the body, and that body belongs to God by faith. Now, this is Moses' body. Jesus' body would be spiritual. Jesus' body would be spiritual, right? And then that's when you go to the argument of the people that are always pointing to the law. There's several kinds, but they will tell you that it's both, that you have to be circumcised of the heart and physical. And they'll say that that's talking about physical circumcision. Okay. And you're like, well, females don't have foreskin. So what are you talking about? And they got an answer for that too. It's not a good one, but they have one because they'll say the male, it's the male, it's the male. Yeah. Yeah. But the physical thing, it's not talking about, it's not talking about physical circumcision of the male organ. That's not what it's talking about. All right. Circumcision is this body, right? We've been sealed with the Holy Spirit of promise, and that seal, that's that cut. That's that cut. Okay. So our spirit, which is the heart, has been sealed. You understand? And it's in the inside of us. And this physical flesh has been cut away. It has been cut away, my friend. That's why it's dead. And that's why we're told to die to the flesh. But it's dead in God's eyes, it's already dead. But that foreskin that was cut off, that piece of skin that was cut off, it died. You understand? Because it was cut away from the entirety of the body. So this flesh has been literally or spiritually, it has been cut away from our heart. Cut away. And it died because it's not part of it. Right? So this is huge. The fact that God is telling him, let my firstborn go. You have to understand, we all became co-heirs with Christ. So if we all became co-heirs with him, we're all one spirit, one body, one mind. So we're all the firstborn. We all become Israel, all of us. We all become him. 1 John 4:17, as he is, so are we in this world. So we are as he is. So if he's the firstborn, through him, we become co-heirs. Now we are firstborn. And because Moses is being told, go do this and make sure you tell Pharaoh, let my firstborn go. And obviously your son needs to be circumcised. Why? Because if he's not circumcised, you got sin in the camp. And if you got sin in the camp, this ain't going to work. So he needs to be circumcised, period. Why? Because y'all have to be one in one accord. You have to be on one accord. So he says, let my son go. And if you refuse to let him go, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn. Now, in the Bible, we know that Pharaoh speaks a creed. And basically he says, 1 John 1. What about 1 John 1, Daisy? 1 John 1, go. What about 1 John? 1 John 1, what? 1:9? What are we talking about? Daisy. 1 John 1, what? All right. Maybe you weren't talking to me, I guess. Let's see.
119. 119.
No, 1:9. I knew it was 1 John 1:9. What about 1 John 1:9?
9.
Yeah. What about 1 John 1:9? 1 John 1:9 that talks about confessing sin is everything that we all already have done, right? So 1 John 1:9 is talking to non-believers. 1 John 1:9 is not talking to someone who has already done that. You understand? In order for any of us here to become saved and for all our iniquities and transgressions to be right, to be done away with, in order for that to be true, that means that anyone that goes up to God who's not saved, anyone that goes up to him and confesses, right, that they're a sinner, which if you're saved, you've done it. You've went up to him and said, "Hey, this is all true. Like it says that I'm a sinner. I agree. It says this about me. That's true. It says this, all these things are true." My favorite given Christ. Yeah, but 1 John 1:9, 1 John 1:9, this is talking to someone who is not saved. If you come to the Father and you're not saved and you say you're not a sinner, you have no sin, and you're not saved, you don't have Christ living on the inside of you, then you're a liar, right? You know, you're full of pride. But if you come to him with honesty and say, "No, I am a sin. All these issues are me," right? That's when he removes all of them. And it says that he removes all of them. The word all means all. But people will use 1 John 1:9 to tell you to confess your sin. That's what they'll use that. But in chapter 2, he's talking to believers. And he says, "My little children, these things I write unto you, that you sin not. And if you do, we have an advocate in the Father." So he's not telling anyone to sin. He's obviously telling them, don't sin. But if you do, we have an advocate with the Father. If you have not came to Christ yet, you haven't received him, your first step is to confess that you're a sinner, meaning that you're acknowledging that you have the image and likeness of the first Adam. Like something is wrong. And the Bible tells us it's because of what happened in the garden. So now the person acknowledges, wait a minute, this is true. So I do have what he passed down to me. I have that. So now I understand that. I'm going to come to him and say, "Hey, like this is true. Like, you know, I need what you did on that cross. It's the only way. Like there's no other way." Right? Now, once you've done that, now you fall into chapter 2, right? Beloved, or little children, these things I write unto you that you sin not, but if you do sin, we have an advocate with the Father. So he's telling believers we have an advocate. The tone completely changes. He's not telling believers, confess your sin. No. We have an advocate already because we've already confessed our sin, right? And what's crazy is people have been using 1 John 1:9 to tell believers that they have to confess their sin. And I say this all the time. That's the only verse that you can use that says that. If this was true, there would be a lot more verses that would do this. And since Paul the Apostle wrote 3/4 of the New Testament, he would have told us to do this. This is crazy to me. Paul didn't set us up for failure. He didn't set us up for failure. You'll never see in all of his inspiring letters, you'll never see Paul telling a believer to confess their sins. Never. Not one time, bro. The Bible has been misread in so many areas that it's really confused people. And again, it's laziness. People are just lazy. That's all it comes down to. Okay. But 1 John 1:9 is the only verse that somebody can bring up and use that to say, "Oh, this is for believers." Bro, how many times, if we believe something, how many times where it's only one verse? Absolutely not. A lot. What we believe, it's because it's in the Bible multiple times. But now it's like, oh, well, we should already know. No, bro. No, Paul was sent to Gentiles. The heck with this. we should already know. What do you mean? Gentiles don't already know Bible and all this stuff. No, they don't. That's so dumb. Paul the Apostle was sent to Gentiles for salvation. So to sit here and say, oh, well, you should already know that. What are you talking about? If you meet someone that knows nothing about any of this, you would tell them you should already know. Bro, he did not send Paul because people already knew. He sent Paul because people didn't know. It's such a cop-out. So dumb. You should already know. 1 John 1:9 is not talking to a believer. If you are a believer, you fall under chapter 2. Sin not, but if you do sin, you have an advocate with the Father. That's where we lie. 1 John 1:9 is talking about when you first came to God and you said, I'm a sinner. That's what everybody here has already done that. Now we have an advocate with the Father, chapter 2. You don't tell someone to keep going to 1 John 1:9. Oh, you sinned? Oh, 1 John 1:9. No, chapter 2. Not 1:9. All right. Let's see. Sir, refuse, let him go. I will slay thy son firstborn. Okay. 24. And it came to pass by the way in the inn that the Lord met him and sought to kill him. Then Zipporah, bird or little bird, took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet and said, surely a bloody husband art thou to me. So let him go. Or let me go to so he let him go, meaning God left him alone. Then he said, a bloody husband thou art because of the circumcision. And the Lord said to Aaron, go into the wilderness to meet Moses. And he went and met him at the Mount of God and kissed him. And Moses told Aaron all the words of the Lord who had sent him and all the signs which he had commanded him. And Moses and Aaron went and gathered together all the elders, the children of Israel. And Aaron spake all the words which the Lord had spoken to Moses and did the signs in the sight of the people. And we know all the things. Put the hand in the bosom, take it out. The rod. And it says, and the people believed. And then they heard that the Lord had visited the children of Israel and that he had looked upon their affliction. Then they bowed their heads and worshiped. All right. So, yeah. So the key points or the key questions were, the main one was, verse, let's see. The circumcision was actually the main thing that was brought up, but the main thing I pointed out is that all the people were called the son, or my son, and firstborn, right? Because all of this was talking about us who were going to become co-heirs with Christ. Do you understand? Becoming co-heirs, that means we became as he is. So all of us through Christ we're going to be the firstborn. All of us, right? Because we have to be born again. That's why we have to be born again, or we had to be born again. So, Danny, happy Monday. Happy Monday.
So, Trot, little bird is referring back to the naked or the young pigeon or dove in Abraham when walked through the pieces then?
Do what now?
You said Zipporah's name can lead back to little bird?
No. Her name means bird or little bird. That's what her name means.
Okay, well, if it meant little bird, then how does that correlate with an Abraham and the pieces?
You can't, bro, you just can't, you can't make stuff correlate. You can't make it. It either correlates or it don't. So what can we say about her name?
That it points to being a fowl of the air.
That's it. Fowl of the air. And because she's not a foolish woman, what kind of fowl of the air is that?
She's a dove.
Or you could say good. You can say
Well,
say
that is
good,
yeah.
right? That's what you can say about that, because there's multiple things that's pointing to this. That she's not a foolish woman would not have done the right thing before God, and then got mad at her husband because he didn't do the right thing. A foolish woman would not have done that. She would have said, "Wow, you're such a wise man, Moses. Let's take our son. I want him to stay whole. But because he would have been whole in the flesh, we needed him to be whole representing the spirit, which is circumcision. So a foolish woman would have said, I want my son to stay whole. Well, he's not whole, not even a little bit, right? Remember when Jesus healed the men, and one came back, right? Leprosy. It says one came back. And then it says, because he came back, because Jesus said, weren't there more with you? But because he came back, it says he was made whole, which means everything regarding leprosy, not just that the leprosy stopped, but if he had phalanges missing, they were put back, which is remarkable, obviously. But
So was the sharp stone the law?
The sharp stone?
Yeah, it says Sephora took a sharp stone rather than a knife or something else. It says sharp stone.
So what did Abraham use to circumcise? Do you know or no? Christian.
I guess I assumed it was a knife, but no.
I don't want you to assume. I'm asking you if you know for sure what he used.
No, I don't know for sure.
Okay, well, you need to go find out. Go find out right now. We'll all wait. Go find out right now. These are the questions that you need to ask yourself, right? You see how you're not asking yourself this? How do I know? Because now you got to go look. You need to ask yourself, like, well, if she used a stone, what else was used? Well, Abraham. I wonder what Abraham used.
Flint rock, sharp stone.
Nah. Give me book, chapter, and verse. Nah. Where? Where does it say that? Dre, homeboy, what's up? Where does it say that at? You don't even know. You don't even know where it says it, bro. So you just went in there and Googled.
Bro, it's Genesis 17. I'm just trying to find the verse.
Well, how did you know? If you would have read the verse already, you'd know the verse. Huh? This guy. You know I'm going to ask you book, chapter, verse, dude. Look, I know the answer, okay? You don't. So I'm telling you to go look for it. That's why I'm asking. Not because it's the first time. Wow. I wonder what Abraham used. I know what he used. It tells us. But you don't. You need to know what he used. You find it? You need some help? You need to call a friend. Guys, if you're going to give an answer, give book, chapter, and verse. Don't just give an answer. Don't just give an answer because it's the wrong answer. You need book, chapter, and verse. Oh, man.
Dang, man, I can't find it. I can't find the.
Oh, it's
sharp
there.
stone part.
It is there. It is there.
One day, bait, you'll have it. One day.
What? He used Christian sharp. Guys, I give him a hard time as it is, man. Hey. See, now I'm going to have to stop because y'all going to be doing it. All of us can't do it. You said it was in, you just told me it was in Genesis 17.
Yes, but that's the chapter where he said that he took the whole of his house and all of the people he circumcised, all the men
It
he bought
doesn't
with money.
specify the stone
Yeah.
in 17. So you would have to find it somewhere else, bro.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, like I said, I don't remember exactly where it's at, but it's in there. So I thought you had the right one. Like, it's in there. It tells us very clearly. And it's not just in one book. It's in a few books. Oh, man. What am I doing? Golly. Nobody found it. Christian needs some help.
I know in Joshua the word sharp knives means flint stone. What's random, dude? What's eco 425? What is eco?
I think he means Exodus.
It doesn't actually. Yes, it does. What? A man of the law doesn't know that it actually says it? What? Yes, it does, buddy. Oh, pal. Yes, it does. 100%. It does. It 100%.
Oh.
Show me.
Oh no, don't come up. Don't come up now. No. Don't come up now.
No. Challenging it because I know it doesn't say what he used. He says he's circumcised, but does it say what he used? It does not say.
It don't say.
It came up and I heard Shema Israel.
Which, I do agree on the John what you said. I do disagree on the Ishmael, not Ishmael, his other son, the first son circumcision. Now, the fact that God was gonna unalive him is because God said you're gonna be like an Elohim. So he's a representative of God, and now he is a representative of God who's in sin. It's not sin in camp. It's him. It's him in general.
His son had to be circumcised or he would be recognized as a Gentile. Yes.
No, no.
Yes, sir. Yep. He had to have Abraham's mark. Yes, sir. 100%. Yep. 100%.
Though, really.
Huh?
Yeah, the mark says it's the Sabbath that I'll put a mark on my people.
Right. Right. The mark is the Sabbath because Christ is the Sabbath, the mark of Christ. Right. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay,
Maybe
so
I misunderstood what you meant by it.
I know you always do. Listen, anytime you're confused, just come up here and ask. All right. So what did what did Abraham use to cut up the animals in pieces? Does it say? Anybody?
We talk about when he fell asleep and God did it for him?
No. God told Abraham, take these 5 animals, except for the 2 birds. I want you to take these 3 animals and cut them asunder or in the middle. So Abraham cut them, not God.
Let me go look.
That would be in Genesis 15. Let me see.
15:10, I think.
So the question is, does it specify if Abraham used a tool or not?
I don't recall, but I'm gonna go look right now.
And then I got another question after this one.
I'm not seeing it in Genesis 15:10. I don't see a tool being used.
Wow, I was the dumb one, and here we all are.
No, my friend. Not here we all are. I know the answers to my questions. So does it specifically say that Abraham, does it tell us a tool? What tool did he use to cut the animals?
It doesn't say.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it in Genesis 15 here where he divided them up in the midst. Divided them in the midst and laid each piece against another. Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
We're not gonna hear it.
So it's not, it specifically doesn't tell us, right?
Correct. It doesn't say
All right.
like as far.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So when is the first time that we see Abraham using something that would cut or kill? Where's the first time that we see it?
Son up on the altar when he was going to raise up that night.
All right, now watch this. Now, how old was Isaac?
I was like 15. Bait, tell me it was past his bar mitzvah.
Does anybody know?
Yeah, I don't know where you're getting this from, bro. It doesn't say.
So how old was he when what?
How old?
Yeah, it doesn't say.
How old was Isaac when he was tied up like the red heifer, and Abraham was going to unalive him? About how old was he?
Dre said 40.
He was an adult. He was an adult. He was an adult. So let's make sure we're right about this. So the first time that we see Abraham take an object to either cut or unalive, this was the first time right here?
Yeah, as far as cutting, or actually, as far as I can remember, yes. It
All
does
right.
say when he prepared a lamb, but I mean, it doesn't say that he cut it with anything, as far as I remember.
Right. Okay. So remember when Lot got captured?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, and Abraham went over there and rescued, right? Was there
Yes.
anybody that needed to be circumcised then? Does it mention circumcision after he captured him?
Oh, let me go look it up. Wait, no, I know the story. He gave 10% to Melchizedek and met with him and all that, but I don't know. There's no circumcision.
Hold on.
I mean, you confuse if you try.
Hold on. Time out. It's okay. It's all right. I'm going to show you. I'm getting to a point, but I'm long-winded for a very specific reason. There's a reason, right? So let's go to Where's it at? No. All right, maybe it's not Lot. My bad. I thought it was Lot. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Okay, maybe I'm talking about Joshua. Hold on.
We know it's the book of laws and stuff like that. We get it. It's cool, bro.
Huh? Do what now?
Nothing. I'm taking my shot.
Well, I mean, take it right. Let me hear it.
Oh, I said it's okay. We understand that you got it wrong because it's the book where the laws are listed and all that.
Because that's where the law's listed. What?
Yeah. The circumcisions and all that, right? That's why you got it all wrong.
Hey, what's funny is when I teach you what I'm getting at, I'm going to ask you why you didn't know this since you're so familiar with the law, sir. So look, let's go. Hey,
teach it because God teaches it.
Hey, no. All right. Okay. Hey, okay. Go to where the circumcision is happening with Joshua. I'm sorry. Go. I don't remember. Yeah. Or whoever. It don't matter. Yeah, you grab it. Yeah. So let's go look at when the circumcision is happening with Joshua. Oh no, the thing with Lot is not circumcision. No, the thing with Lot is where Lot is choosing where to live. I'm sorry. That's where that comes into play. Because remember, Abraham tells him, hey, go ahead, pick where you want to go. And he wants to go into the city. My bad. It's not circumcision. But all that ties into it, though. But let's go to where... All right, so...
Yeah, Joshua right here. It says, it was that time that Adonai said to Yehoshua, which is Joshua, make yourself knives of flint and circumcise the people of Israel again a second time. Flint would be a stone.
All right, it'd be a stone. Now watch this. What was about to happen? There's a reason that he said, hey, look, you need to do this right now. Something's about to happen. What was it?
What, people going into the promised land?
Yeah, they're about to go. Yeah, they're about to go take it over, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So when God was going to kill Moses, it was because it's those people that needed to come out, and it had to happen by faith. And the only thing that was pointing to faith itself is what was given to Abraham, which was circumcision. So it only could happen by faith that the people were taken out, which the sign of that was circumcision. So Moses' son had to be circumcised for the same reason that Joshua did this circumcision to go into the promised land. So it's the same thing. But what I'm pointing at with Abraham is, how come it doesn't tell us what he used? This is the kind of stuff that is so insignificant. People think that it doesn't matter. It matters. 100%. It matters that it.
Rabbinical says it too.
What?
A rabbinical explanation also affirms that most likely it was a flint that was used with Abraham.
More likely it was because Joshua used the flint. And we see it a couple of other times. But what I'm saying is, how come we don't see Abraham using a tool? Why don't we see it? It comes all the way back to not with hands. The phrase, not with hands, because it was God doing it. Even though Abraham did it, there's a reason that it's not telling us that he had a tool and he used a tool to do it. And it's because whenever Abraham was put to sleep, it's the same thing that happened with Adam. Adam was put to sleep, and God is the one that opened them up and took out Eve. It was God that did it. And we get to Abraham by faith. He does this with these animals. It's 5, which is the number of grace in the Bible. And it was a ram, a goat, a heifer, a dove, and a pigeon. And after he falls asleep, because he's fighting the doves all day and all night. So when his flesh gets tired, and he will never be able to say, because I fought off all the animals and because nope, until he was wore out. And then God moves and it says that the furnace and the fire went between the pieces of flesh, which that pieces of flesh is covenant, pieces of flesh. So when a man and woman, right, when the covenant is made, it's because the male organ moves through the pieces of flesh and the covenant is made. It's the exact same thing that happens with this fire that goes through the pieces of flesh. And this is where Paul the Apostle gets, we have been sealed with the Holy Spirit of promise. That's that seal right there. So it doesn't tell us that Abraham used anything twice. It doesn't tell us that he used anything because it's pointing to God doing it. But yet, whenever he takes his son up there, now all of a sudden we see him pull out a knife because Christ was the one that God was going to use, just like the circumcision and the 5 animals. And then we get to his son, Abraham's son. And when he lifts that knife up, it would have been Abraham that did it, not God, not like the other things. So that's what I was getting at. But the Joshua one's important because they're going into the promised land. And then before they went to go free the people, they had to use a flintstone and then flintstone. So the reason that rabbis say it had to be that kind of a stone is because that's what we see. So it's not wrong. I don't believe that's wrong to say that, but what's supposed to be seen is that these things are how the Bible says circumcision without hands. That's what this is pointing to, because by his hand, the firstborn was going to become unalived. And it wasn't by his hand. It was by God's arm, God's hand. That's why that ram that was caught in the thicket, that was God's arm, his hand that brought the sacrifice, which is pointing back to Christ. So,
and Trot meant to say the wicked fowls of the air, not the doves. That Abraham didn't fight the doves. He wouldn't fight a dove.
Oh, I said doves. Oh, my bad. Well, the fowls of the air.
Yeah, you said doves.
Yeah, well, it was the fowls of the air.
The crows, the ravens.
Yeah. Fowls of the air. Yeah, no, the dove and the pigeon was the ones he told him to grab. Yeah. So that's why it matters. That's why you don't see a tool being brought up or used with Abraham, because it's pointing to something God is doing, not man's hands. That's the whole point of that. Let's see. Okay, so that was Christian's question regarding. Oh, wait a minute. That's not it. Oh, where'd I put? Anyway, Exodus 4, right? I think it was. Yeah. I don't know where I put the thing at. Yeah, Exodus 4, I think 20, somewhere around there, 20. What time is it? 6? All right. It is a late one, and I need to get back on the morning one, but it is what it is. Does anybody got anything else?
Yeah.
What?
I do, actually. It's just a thought that popped in my head when you were talking about the dove and pigeon and the ram. I know you went over it just about 5 months ago, I think. I got a question about the heifer and the she-goat. Why is the goat she?
Man, if you want to ask about them right now, no, don't ask about them right now. But I got to explain the whole thing. I went over it in depth like 2 or 3 times already. You don't remember?
Yes, we have.
Man,
I know you went over it about maybe 5 months ago.
Yeah, well, I went over it a bunch of times though. Yeah.
I got a question. It might be a little easier than that.
What's up, bruh? Yeah, I mean, Jennifer, don't forget your question, but man, because I'm gonna have to go over all the animals again for it to make sense. Like one of them is not gonna do any justice. It's gonna take me a minute. To what I'm saying.
It's just I guess a coincidence that you mentioned that, because just the other day I was looking at some Hebrew images, and it said that the heifer represented the mother-in-law and the she-goat represented the daughter.
The mother-in-law and daughter of who?
In a covenant. Like all of the animals were sheaves.
Yeah. Yeah, they were, because they were representing attributes of the spirit. That's what they're representing. Yeah. But yeah, we'll talk. No, I mean, just don't forget it. I mean, I wrote it down here too. We won't forget. We can go over it again. We'll go over it like, at the beginning of a live, because that's long. That's a long one. Yeah. So, what are you saying, Dre?
Yo, I got a question. I've been in the book of Ruth the past week or so, dealing with it. The rabbis have an explanation, but I want to know if there's something else, how you would see it when it comes to Elimelech and how he named his sons Kilion and I can't ever say the M word one. I forgot how to pronounce it, but basically their names mean sickness and destruction. Like, why would a father name their kids sickness and destruction?
Yeah. Have we ever went over that?
Not that particular thing. We've gone over Ruth a couple times, not the actual names of, because those names are really important. Like I said, the rabbis have an explanation for it, but I don't take everything the rabbis say. I just use it for historical context, which what they say kind of makes sense. But
yeah, what's the address to that to go specifically there?
Ruth chapter 1, verse maybe 4, I want to say.
Okay.
Around there.
Yeah. Let's see.
Not Malahalel. It's not I can't ever. I always forget this guy's name. I know it's Kilion and the other one.
Yeah. You're talking about Ruth's, one of Ruth's husbands. Like
Orpah.
Orpah and Ruth. Yeah. Because Naomi's husband was the Elomelech or something. Yeah. Melech.
Which means God is my king.
God is my king. Let me write that down. Let's go through there real quick. God is my.
So Eli is God, we know, and Melech is king. So King God, or my God is king.
Yeah, two sons were Milan and Chilion. Those two names?
Yeah, Milan and Kilion, and one of them means, the first one is sickness, and the next one is destruction.
Yeah. Let me see. So they're from Ephraim. They're Ephraimites.
They're from Bethlehem.
Yeah, but they're from the tribe of Ephraim, I think.
Yeah, they're from the house of bread, Bethlehem, but they're from Ephraim.
Ephraim, right?
Ephraim.
Yeah, Ephraim. All right, Bethlehem, Judah, and they came into the country of Moab and continued there, and Elimelech's husband died, and she was left and her two sons. Yeah. So
you know the rabbis say that Elimelech he left because he didn't want to give bread to the poor, so he went to the people who are known for denying bread.
Yeah, well, it says that they're from Bethlehem, right? The house of bread. Right, house of bread. So it says it says right here, look. It says I'm sorry, I went too far. Bethlehem, it says, and it said on the bottom it says, and they came into the country of Moab. Now Moab is supposed to be Gentile land, Moab, right?
It is Gentile.
Yeah,
land. It's cursed land.
Yeah, but what does Moab? What does Moab mean again? Somebody?
Seed. It means seed.
Is
or
it
progeny?
Seed?
Yeah, seed, progeny.
Yeah.
Of his father.
So seed of his kind. That's what it means.
basically.
Yeah.
You can say that.
Yeah, but it's a Gentile land. So again.
Yeah, this is Eglon's land.
Yeah, Eglon, right. So Elimelech says, God is my king. Well, obviously, because he comes from the house of bread. So God is my
God is king, yes.
Or God is king. Yeah, right? God is king. And then you got and he's married to Pleasant.
Right.
So he's supposed to be, their kids are supposed to be seed of his kind, but instead they're seed of Gentile kind. And so for them to name their kids this way, it's not hard to say, bro. Elimelech was a foolish man. Very clear. Very easy to see this. And he names his kids, and he started teaching Naomi to think this way. Because after this, the family has no faith, bro. And it was because of this man right here. The Bible says that the man is the one that's supposed to lead the house by faith and to think this way. Well, this dude right here, look where he comes from. So he leaves, just like Jonah. Jonah left Joppa, which means beautiful. So he leaves the presence of God and he goes into the sea, which is the world. So this man right here leaves the house of bread and he goes to a place that is of Gentiles, and that place just happens to mean seed of his kind. So literally this family was literally representing like a reprobate mind. So it makes it makes full sense to me why he named his kids sickness and destruction. This is how he led his family, because as soon as he dies and the two sons die, Naomi says, call me no more pleasant, call me bitter. Look how she's talking. This man led them to think this way. That's why he left where he was and went to this. He was thinking like these fools in Moab. He became a foolish man. That's what happened. But Ruth tells Naomi, because Naomi's going to go back home. So I'm going to say that she had not fully made up her mind to be like her husband. Because if so, she wouldn't even have put her countenance back towards the land, bro, but she did. And so she's going back over there and she receives the grace of God through Boaz and didn't deserve it. She left, but she came back and got the grace of God through Boaz. So they named their kids like that because this man started becoming conformed to the world. That's why. So instead of naming his kids like his name and his wife's name, he starts naming them like Moabite people. And what does Ruth's name mean again? I don't remember.
It means friendship.
Friendship. And Orpah? What does Orpah's name mean?
Stiff neck.
Yeah, that makes so. Look at this. So Ruth, who literally is representing a friend, right? Someone who doesn't leave. She literally told Naomi, your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. Her friendship, 100%. And then the other one, she told Naomi, nah, I'm good. I'm going to kick rocks. Y'all have a good one. Stiff neck. She should have went with her, but she didn't. She didn't.
There's a verse in chapter 1 where it says that Naomi went back to like the desert of Moab because that's where God gave bread, which is funny because God gave bread there, but she went back to a foreign way of receiving bread when God had already prescribed a new way of receiving bread, which would have been.
Where's it say that? Where's it say that?
It's somewhere in chapter 1. Like when you go through there, it says like she went to the desert where God was giving bread, and it's like, wait, hold on, God wasn't giving bread in Moab. But then what it points to, what I believe it points to, is when God provided manna from the sky when the Moabites denied the Israelites bread.
Yeah. Okay, so this right here. So verse 5 says, and the two children died also, both of them, and the women was left of her two sons, which is Orpah and Ruth. Then she arose with her daughters-in-law that she might return from the country of Moab. Yeah. Yeah, because it says, for she had heard in the country of Moab how the Lord had visited his people in giving them bread. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So she went back to like what a Christian would say. She went back to an old anointing. You know, God had already moved from there. Like you going backwards instead of going forwards.
Yeah.
Like that
Well,
God doesn't
yeah.
give bread there anymore.
But the thing is, her mind went back to bread. You understand? Like it went back to God's word. That's what this is saying. Like she could get fed. Yeah. So, but here's the thing though. Remember the Gentile woman that was talking to Jesus, right? And he says, the master don't give food from, and she goes, well, the dogs eat the crumbs. So, it's true because just by the way that Gentile was talking to Jesus, it's true that it's still bread, whether it's crumbs or not. So
yeah, I just thought it was interesting.
No,
because,
it is.
You know, the Catholics talk about like they claim they canonized the Bible and blah blah blah. Like
Bro,
you don't even know why this book is in there and blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah whatever. But
Yeah.
I go back to the Book of Ruth, and what kind of sparked my interest was like, why is the Book of Ruth in there? And what it points back to is that the Book of Ruth is a very extremely important book because it pretty much lays down law that a Moabite woman can be a convert into Judaism and be a part of Israel, which in turn would legitimize David. Because
Yeah.
the story goes that Saul was like, yo, people are saying I kill 1,000 and this guy over here killing 10,000. Am I in trouble? This is what the like the Jewish history says, right? And he said he went to Doeg, which is so funny because that's his servant, Doeg, which means that guy means like fear and enemy and strife. It's so funny that's his name, right? Because there's two servants in the Bible.
Yeah.
Doeg, he's the other servant.
Yeah.
And he asked Doeg, he's like, does David come from the lineage of the kings or the lineage of noblemen from Judah?
Yeah.
And Doeg tells him, you're asking the wrong question, King. You should be asking if he's a Jew at all because he comes from Moabites.
Yeah.
And then that's why Samuel writes this book as a establishment and like a polemics against anybody who would try to say that a Moabitess cannot be part of Israel and therefore try to illegitimize David and in turn the Messiah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you even have people argue that that the Moabites were not, what is the argument? They're not Gentiles. They're God's people. What do they say? That they're not Gentiles. They say that Ruth was not a Gentile. That's
the BHI say that. They try to say that she was actually Hebrew.
Yeah.
There's no way because she literally does a conversion and Naomi literally tells them, go back to your mothers and your gods and your people.
And she said,
if it's the same God, why would it go back to
it makes no again, the only reason why, and if it's them, that it ain't just them, there's some other people say too, I can't remember who it is, but that argument, the only reason why they do that, right? Because if they can make you believe that Ruth was already of like Jewish blood or whatever, then that means that when Jesus is talking about all the people, sheep, I came to the sheep and I did all that those are talking about the outskirt Jews, meaning that all of them were Jews, all of them, no Gentiles. That's why they have a problem with Ruth. They got a problem with that, a dilemma with that big time. Yeah, but that's the reason why they fight that, because they want to say that all the people that were in the outskirts, that there was no Gentiles. Jesus didn't know, there was no, he came to the house first. Bro, I don't know how, there's so many Gentiles that are in that story with Jesus, and they're saying none of those were Gentiles because he came to his sheep first, to the house of Israel first. Yeah, bro, he came to the house of Israel first, but he's I don't want to say it like that, but the grace that he had for people, you can see it. Even if they were Gentile, it would still take place. So it's a ridiculous argument, but that's the argument they use.
Here's the question. Is it possible? So if God can change your name from one thing to another, from something regular to something better, right?
Yeah.
Like Abram to Abraham, or Jacob to Israel, whatever. And Naomi changes her name from Pleasant to Mara. Is it possible that Mahol and Chilion, they actually had names that didn't mean that, but their names were changed due to the disobedience of the father?
I think that he never named them properly. That's what I think. I think he named them based on where he was with his mind. I believe he already came conformed to the world, and when his kids were born, and then he named them what was pleasant to his sight and pleasant to his eyes. You know what I mean? Kind of like today. Like if you I don't want to say that. Or, okay, we can use war. Like if someone really thought war was cool and unaliving was cool, right? You can name your kid Wartime, or you know what I mean? Like, well, look at how he named one of his Destruction. It sounds cool. Like when you listen to worldly rap, just listen to the words they use. They think all that stuff is cool and pleasant, so that's what they sing about. They think that's what's cool. So in the same way,
I saw this report. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
All right, good.
I just saw this report. This guy tried to name his kid back in the day. This happened a while ago. He tried to name his kid Adolf Hitler. They told him it was illegal to do that. This is a real thing, by the way.
Yeah, no, I think I might have heard. How long ago was that? When was that?
I don't know exactly. I just saw somebody talking about it. Like,
okay, I don't know if I don't know if the one I'm thinking about is that name, but I have somebody in my head of one of them kind of crazy, and they try to name their kid that, and I don't know if it was that or not, but yeah, it's crazy, big time crazy. Hey, yeah, guys. So, and I know Dre's not gonna be able to make it, but May, we're looking at May being the month that everybody comes in May. So, Dre's not gonna be. I wish Dre was able to make it, but I know he's got a lot going on. Ooh, I'm gonna sneeze. Do we have medical pain because of fallen Adam? Such pain. Yeah. So, death, pain, all that stuff, that is because of the fallen world. It is because of fallen Adam. Yeah. Will be no more.
What weekend in May are you thinking?
I don't know yet, but that's where it's not going to be real hot. Like that's as close as I can get. Because I don't want everybody here when it's 110, bro. Like, I mean, it could be miserable for some people. But
well, if you do like the first weekend of May or whatever, I'm supposed to be going to, what's that called? Tulsa. So I think Sunday is like an off day because my daughter gets married on Monday, and like Saturday is the graduation. So Sunday, I believe, is an off day. If I have a rental car, I was thinking about driving down there anyways. It's about 4 hours. Shouldn't be too bad.
Well, as of right now, I don't know why it can't be that weekend. Let me get with the old heifer over here, and I'll find out if that weekend's good for us. If it is, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything, man. So.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously not. I can't 100% guarantee I can come that day, but it is a more likely than not that I'll be able to slide down there, and I'll probably leave Tulsa. If I go, I'll probably leave Tulsa like at probably like early in the morning, like 3 o'clock in the morning, and try to get there early enough to where I can come back.
Yeah, let me find out because right now we're in March. What's today? The 20 what?
Shoot, I should know.
It's 23rd. So Jennifer, in March. So in about a week, we have April 4, 5. That's about 5 weeks. So I think that might be enough time really for everybody. But let me make sure I don't have anything, and let me see what everybody else is saying. But I don't, as of right now, I don't know why we couldn't do that. So, and tomorrow morning, Eric Montoya is coming to the live. He sent me something in a DM, and after I was done reading it, I was like, bro, I was like, you're almost finished, bro. Like, give me the rest of that. You know what I mean? I said, because it's something that we've basically, I know I've been over at least once or twice on Descaled, but basically, instead of like going over right now, he started somewhere in the Bible, and he's showing like what he's seeing from the beginning all the way, but he stops, and I'm like, bro, keep going with that. Like you're on the right track though. But we'll go over it tomorrow. We'll go over it tomorrow morning. I don't know. Are you gonna be able to come tomorrow morning or what? Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be in between 8:30 and 9:30. I don't know the exact time, but it's gonna be right there between 8:30 and 9:30 in the morning tomorrow. Yeah. So, does anybody? Yeah, because I got to go now. Does anybody got anything? Anybody got anything? Who is Eric? Eric Montoya. He's a Christian dude. So 9:15. Well, I mean, it could be 9:15 between 8:30 and 9:30. Yeah, so any time between there. So it could be 8:31 to 9:29. Yeah, any of those times.
9:29 with 59 seconds.
That's right, 59 seconds exactly. All right, nobody got anything else? Nobody? Anybody? Going once, going twice. So.
Is that daylight savings time or no?
Sure. Yeah. Whichever one you prefer. Whichever one you like. You choose. You choose. It's okay. If you miss it, it will be recorded. You go watch that. Cowboys are the most amazing team in the NFL. That is so true. That is so true. 100%. Mother's Day is in May. Yeah. When? When is it? All right, guys, we are out. We will see y'all tomorrow morning between 8:30, 9:30, somewhere in there. So be there or be square. We'll see y'all in the morning. God bless.